Hello and welcome back to another Onkruid video. Welcome back to another unedited Soulstone Survivors video. Is it still the same night? Possibly. Have I said that it would be my last Soulstone Survivors video for 5 times already? Possibly. Am I thinking that this is gonna be just an easy win because I just achieved my first victory in like 10 videos and I believe to be on a win streak right now and I am actually biased by a recency bias? Very much possible, yeah. Very much possibly, if you will. Does that stop me from recording right now and having a blast in Soulstone Survivors like I always have? Not possible. No, that's impossible. That's actually very improbable until somewhere between very improbable and completely impossible. I'm vibing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just vibing. We are on the winter event map today again. You know what that means. We're gonna attempt to get into this winter event madness. We're gonna fail, we're gonna get mad, and we're gonna get mad at the game again, ruin our mood, and then probably ruin the rest of our evening. No, it's not true. I feel like I'm in a good mental spot now when it comes to gaming. And I think that's the reality of gaming, you know? People often say like, oh, gamers are always so angry and they smash their controllers and gamer rage is a serious problem and gaming makes people aggressive. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think gaming can sometimes be frustrating, but I think there's also beauty in that. In games like Dark Souls, for example, or Bloodborne, or any of the Soulsborne games, I feel like they're from Software, right? If I recall correctly, that might be a quiz question sometime around. From Software. Those games are infuriating. They can destroy your sanity. They can make you mad, annoyed, want to rage quit time and time again. And yet so many people still play and enjoy them. And I think it's because a big part of the appeal of those kinds of games is kind of like conquering your demons, you know? Shouldn't have taken that attack speed upgrade right there. Conquering your demons. Really like setting yourself a challenge which seems impossible at first. Completely impossible. You really have like the idea, I'm never going to be able to get through this boss fight because it seems to be insane. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do it. I'm going to need 1,000 attempts to actually get even close to completing this boss fight. So it's kind of a lost cause, just like I am in life. It's maybe a bit heavy, but I think it's kind of reminiscent of some of the feelings that can come up. Oh, debilitating plague, nice and early. Oh no, not you. Not this motherfucker, this paladin motherfucker, no. It is the run ender. It is the fucking ender of runs, destroyer of pep talks that I was giving. Ruiner of evenings. So movement speed. Damage increase. Oh, yeah, we've been stupid. Now that we still have the time to roam around, I want to heal a little bit, but I also just want to really get rid of this guy before he can fire another shot. I think that was the last of him. And now I can't help but notice that. Oh, that's nice. Nice multicast. The lords are almost gonna spawn. But what I want to say is, I think that is just a regular part of any single hobby. And I think that the rage or the frustration in gaming is definitely not necessarily worse than in other hobbies or in sports, for example. I've seen tennis players smash their rackets onto the ground. I've seen music artists smash their instruments of artistry, their guitars and stuff, into the ground as well. I've seen have I seen painters like destroy their canvas? No, maybe that maybe not really, but you get the gist, right? I don't think video game rage is as bad as people think. I think it's part of any hobby, any interest really. And I think that there's also beauty in the frustration and the challenge that video games propose. Vicious Strikes is also here, of course, as it always is. Really, video games challenge us. And we set those challenges ourselves sometimes. We create these imaginary goals. And we try to everything in our power to achieve them. And I think that's really beautiful. I think a perfect example of where that happens is, for example, old school RuneScape, where you are like oh hell no, I need to get level 70 fletching today, or otherwise I'm gonna feel bad. That's like a completely arbitrary challenge that you completed, that you created for yourself. But still you strive towards it and you strive to actually complete it. And I think that's so beautiful. It's a beautiful part of video games. It forces us to destroy our own boundaries in a positive way. To create a goal that seems unreachable, and then yet here we are reaching it, you know. I think that's really one of the most beautiful parts about video games. And I think it is a part of every hobby, every interest in general. Also reading, for example. You want to finish that book so that you can start the next book, or so that you can have all the knowledge from that book stored inside of your brain. That's also a type of challenge you put up for yourself. That's also something you try to achieve that you don't necessarily have to achieve. Even when you are studying in the context of like an actual school context, and you have to, oh Jesus, and you have to read it for school, you still decided to go for that education, you know? So it's still a challenge you propose for yourself. And proposing challenges for yourself can be a beautiful thing, but it can also lead to self-destructive behavior, I think, because sometimes people just put the bar up way too high. Perfectionism arises, and they they create these immense challenges for themselves that are not concrete, not realistic, not time-bound, not measurable, not... I think I kind of had all the topics there. I think there's one more. It's this acronym, but I can never remember the acronym. But you have to create goals. Realistic, measurable, smart. There we go, smart. So specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-bound goals. That's very important. And when proposing challenges for themselves, people often forget to be realistic, they forget to be time-bound, they forget to be specific. They are just like, yeah, I need to finish this textbook, and that's that. They don't set a goal for one day to finish like a couple of chapters before noon. They don't set a realistic goal, because you can't just finish an entire textbook all at once. And they forget to really think about the type of goals they are setting, because it is such of the utmost importance, really. Yeah. Let's go for some more frailty, and then in the future, I think we will go for some more area, because that is going to help us out in the long run for sure. All right, the second collection of bosses is here. We need to stay close to deal damage. That's something we learned the last episode. We also want to try and get the Christmas miracle to work, the Christmas event to work, and kill them close enough to this blue circle over here to achieve the next step, or the next phase, if you will. First of all, though, I would like to focus on surviving and actually clearing out the curse level. We can always come back and give the Christmas event another try in the future, you know? For now, surviving is the most important part. I think a defensive upgrade is more important than a bit more critical hit damage or critical hit efficiency, because I feel like we haven't taken that many defensive upgrades this run at all, apart from like the arcane shield, but that's just one active ability. Some passive defensive upgrades are also really helpful for us. Let's try and get a boss over here. You already have the chance to apply Doom, but it's a low chance, so upgrading that to 40%, or at least that's how I think that works, how I always believe that to work, is I think gonna be beneficial. Stand nice and close to the enemies, but still make sure that you are able to dodge all their attacks. I think that's an important balance in between those two. Because you can deal all the damage in the world, you know, but if you die because you can dodge, then what use is that damage? Or what use was that damage, rather, because you are dead? Make sure that one of these bosses dies while actually being on top of the circle. Just keep on circling around in here if we can. I think it's almost... Did it happen? I heard a sound. I think I heard the correct sound. Yep. There we go. 2 out of 5 completed. I'm trying to pick up the gem to level up, gain some health back. But now I am gonna get out of here for a little second. Do we see a health crystal on the map somewhere? No, we do not, but I'm gonna shift my focus to some of these pillars for now so that I have an easier time dodging everything the world throws at me. This pillar is almost dead already. That's very beneficial for us. And then a purple one over here. Make sure we keep dodging everything in the meantime. And we are also killing one of these bosses. A new red tower just spawned over here, I think. So let's stay nice and close to it, so that our abilities can achieve their utmost potential. There we go. Let's quickly circle in, get rid of these bosses now that we still have the opportunity before the next ones are here. There we are. Alright. Our health is in a bit of a pickle sometimes, but all in all, I feel like this run is going a-okay for now. We've had red, we've had blue, now we have to be over here near the yellow circle for the next boss to die on it. Then only green and purple are remaining, and well, then the actual boss of the Christmas event is still remaining. And I've heard that he is no pushover, so we shouldn't think that even when we actually achieve the part we have been struggling with for so long right now, when we get all the 5 boss waves to die in the right position and we can actually enter the portal, that we will immediately be able to actually kill the boss, because it might not be the case at all. So don't get my hopes up too high. Alright, the new bosses are here. Ice, Guardian, and Fire. I never like it when the incarnation of fire appears on my screen, to be honest, but I'm just gonna try to make the best out of it. I think maximum health is gonna help us out a bit more than just a little bit of extra damage over there. I don't know which rogue Soulstone Survivor is on our backs, but I definitely know that one of them is in the bottom area of the map there somewhere, because that attack was very much damaging and it came out really quickly. And if that happens, you know that there is a dark Soulstone Survivor on your heels. We know that from the Paladin, which has ended so many of our runs right now. Did you guys notice, by the way, that I have completely steered clear from the Leviathan upgrade? The extra damage is never actually worth the loss in movement speed, because movement speed is so essential to actually be able to dodge everything. Let's try and get nice and close in here to really deal some damage with our arcane discs if we can. Alright, we're not taking any hits on our own so far, so that's really nice. I see the health bars of the bosses being diminished a little bit, nothing too crazy, but I think that was quite efficient for sure. Let's make sure that we keep on dashing around here as well. Don't stand still. Alright, we maybe bit off a little bit more than we can chew, or that we could chew in those last 2 dashes into the boss's vicinity. But all in all, I think we did some nice damage there. Let's chill for a second. Regain our footing. Maybe try and get a health crystal if there is one surrounding us somewhere. Wait for a second for our arcane shield to be off cooldown surely. Get rid of this tower in the upper corner here, and then, and only then, will we circle back into the boss's vicinity and try to go on with killing them. I was not able to dash for a second there, which was very scary. Don't stay in his beam too long. Make sure that we circle back to the yellow circle a little bit, because that is where we need the bosses to die. Alright. Come over here, guys. Come on. Oh, these elites are here. They always prove a bit of a challenge. I'm getting knocked around. It's not looking great for a second. If that boss would just drop dead immediately right now, that would really help us out. Increased duration of the arcane shield. Yes, please. I think I'm gonna have to circle out of there a little bit for a second until the arcane shield is actually back up. And there goes our first revive, just because we were being a bit ballsy. So that's not smart. But we need to be close in here to actually deal the damage that we have to deal. It's a hard balance. It's a hard knock life as well, by the way, if you were wondering. We're taking way too much damage. Ah, no, it's not working out. Although still, we are doing a lot better than most of the previous runs we have. Did that guy die on top of the circle? No, he did not, but I can't help but notice that the next lords are already here. So it's really gonna be tough now to make sure that the right boss dies in the right location. An incarnation of fire or an eternal guardian needs to die over here, but there's too much going on. Abandon the Christmas event for now, and let's just try and achieve a victory. We're gonna play a lot calmer, a lot smoother. We're gonna circle in and out a bit more, because we are not necessarily worrying about the boss dying on the exact right location. Alright, come on. Make sure we also don't get stuck somewhere around here, and then everything is gonna be a-okay. We can do this, we got this. Cleared out the last map as well, with a very similar build, so we know that this build has the potential to go all the way. There we go. One more Lord Tom. And I can't help but notice that we actually did kill him on top of the circle. So that's very nice. Now that that happened, I think I am gonna try and head over to the green circle and maybe try and kill the boss on top of there. It's right over here, so we need the bosses to rotate all the way to the bottom of the map. But I definitely need to get rid of some of the pillars, because there is too much to dodge for us right now on this side of the map. This red pillar here really needs to just disappear. I don't know if you're gonna have enough applications of negative effects on there. But there's just a bunch of pillars here actually that we need to get rid of. Frequency of the shield, yes please, something we definitely desperately need. Let's circle around once more. Try and get those pillars really down this time. That's 1, that's 2, and I think that's 3. Yeah, alright. Now let's get back down to this health crystal first of all. And let's try and circle these bosses, or bait them rather, toward the bottom side of the map. This woman is in prime position to just die on the circle, but I think that's a bit ambitious. Let's make sure we don't die on any circle though, because there is a lot going on. There's a whole bunch of elites here. And the incarnation of ice is still around here as well from the previous wave. That guy can just die. Alright, come on. Nice and slow, nice and easy. It doesn't matter that you take some hits, just make sure that you don't take too many hits. We are taking too many hits. Bye-bye. Goodbye. Holy shit. Alright. Keep your eyes peeled for a healing crystal spawning somewhere around us, because we desperately need it. Dash through there. Beautiful. Did some nice damage. One more lord down. Alright. No health crystal to be spotted for now. Let's try and get rid of some of these towers so that we have a bit of an easier time dodging everything in our path. But we don't. I feel like we don't have as much damage as the last run. And I wonder what we did differently, or what type of build upgrades we chose differently this time around. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm not angry at all anymore, because we are definitely making progress. We're getting closer to the victory than we were in the previous episodes when I was really at my lowest point. I'm back on track. I'm back on the Soulstone Survivors track. I can stop nagging about never achieving victories anymore, because I achieved one and I'm coming close to another one here. Try and get that gem for a level up. There we go. An attack speed on a beam or a general damage increase. I think I would rather have the general damage increase, to be frank with you, to be completely honest. We should not be in here. Got out of there. These snakes need to die. Oh, I don't necessarily know what hit me there. But there we go. Prestige level 60 with the arcane weaver. At least it's something. It was a nice attempt. Our arcane orb dealt a hell of a lot of damage. Let's see what didn't deal much damage. Fiery missiles, of course. And arcane beam. That's what I suspected. Didn't deal that much damage at all. Well, not the best run, but okay. Okay. A nice attempt. Thank you very much for watching this 46th episode of Soulstone Survivors already, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.